Hey now, say now, it's your boy, Young Roc Thorough, and you watching that dope podcast, man. That hot podcast, you dig? A king, his crown, and his earth's podcast. Yeah, and today, we got a dope topic for y'all, man. Babe, tell them what's our topic today.
Today, we will be discussing trials, juries, and verdicts.
Did you guys get that? Trials, juries,
like
juries
and trial by jury. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, trials, juries, and verdicts. I know a little something about all those.
Yeah,
those three. Unfortunately, you heard for real. Otherwise, I'd be an attorney at law, but I had to learn it the hard way. But I know a little something about that topic, you know?
Well, dying to dig into your brain and hear all of your answers to the questions ahead. But we'll start off with, just the premise, the umbrella around all of these terms, trials, juries, and verdicts. And that would be justice. So before we get to the technical definition of justice, what is your understanding of the definition of justice?
Shout out to the homies. You understand me? And we got a perfect lingo, you know what I mean, in describing the court system. You understand me? We call it white man justice, black man's grief, you know? And it's perfect, you know what I mean? Because if anybody gets a taste or a dose of justice, and even then, is it really justice? But, you know what I mean? As far as that wearing out all your legal rights and all of that, it's only reserved for like the privilege, which most of the time is usually white. You understand me? So the black man, we stuck in the middle, and our only saving grace is, is hoping that it's not a racist world, that it's more of a, what's the word I'm looking for, capitalistic world, meaning capital, meaning bread, you understand what I'm talking about? So that's our only hope, you know what I mean? It's spending enough bread, usually giving it to some white man, you understand what I'm saying? The hope for a little bit of justice.
Well,
so we call it white man's justice, black man's grief. And not to mention the famed author from the early 60s and 70s, Mr. Donald Groins, had a novel called White Man's Justice, Black Man's Grief, which is probably where we got the lingo from, being that book was such an institutional book that spread through the institution as novels. But yeah, White Man's Justice, Black Man's Grief.
Wow, so that definitely doesn't sound like a uniform definition, or it doesn't really sound like justice, so that's interesting.
Yeah, it's grief.
Yeah, let's see what Merriam-Webster online has to say on justice. The essential meaning of justice: the process or result of using laws to fairly judge and punish crimes and criminals. 2, for you as a judge in a court of law, could be called a justice. 3, it's used as a title for a judge, such as Judge of the U.S. Supreme Court. The full definition is the maintenance or administration of what is just, especially by the impartial adjustment of conflicting claims or the assignment of merited rewards or punishments. So does that coincide with your experience with justice in America?
That was a real, they call it Judge Justice. Huh? That's a dope name. Hey, Justice. That's a dope name. a dumb name. The 5% is the God bodies. I knew a lot of just, you know what I mean? Justice. That's a hard name. The 5% has always had dope attributes, man. Word. Like attributes that hold weight that are relevant today, you know what I mean? Knowledge, true knowledge, knowledge born, you understand me? Just, fly names, man. But that's a little off topic, man. But that Webster dictionary we all know is word semantics. You understand me? Just like the Constitution itself, man. You understand me? That shit is to be taken with a grain of salt. You understand me? For real. You know what I mean? I don't think certain folk were included when they came up with some of that stuff. But nah, I never paid attention really to Webster's dictionary of the word. I just know what a foot on my neck felt like. You understand me? And we've been dealing with that since, you know, early teens when we first hopped off the stoop.
Sadly.
And it's uglier than you can imagine.
Even with the constant visuals that we have nowadays.
Absolutely. Even with the constant visuals. I'm sitting back like, I told you so. I'm sitting back like, it's fucked up because I get a little bit of validation from the bullshit that I've been through. I don't know if I told you guys I was falsely accused of a murder, sat in Rikers Island for 3.5 years, 4 summers, you understand me? Fighting for my life against, in front of the coldest judge in the country. He handed out the most man years in the nation, Robert Hannafy. You understand me? I'm in front of this guy. His favorite number is 50 to life. You understand me? They falsely accused me of some goofy ass shit where somebody died. You understand me? And thank God I had proof where I was at, what I was doing. Understand me? A rock solid alibi, super rock solid. You understand me? On where I was at, what I was doing. And these goofy asses just stalled and, try to pass the buck and cover their ass. For 3.5 years, they were able to. I'll get into that some other. You'll hear about that a little bit on and off in my podcast. But one day, I'll sit and break all of that down. This would have been kind of a good time talking about the justice system. But I don't think, well, I haven't been asked the question yet, so I'm just going off into my situation and my experience with the justice system.
Yeah, so you already kind of pretty much gave your opinion on this, which would be whether or not the current day American legal system does deliver justice, and if it does, to whom?
Hell no.
Yeah. Well, you kind of said that there's white man's justice and then there's other. So is there a justice for a certain class of people? Or is it still not justice either?
You better be a two-pony show, whatever the term is. You better not be no one-pony show, man. You better have a couple of moves, meaning you gotta have to have a complexion for the connection, which is being white, and you're gonna need a bankroll. You understand what I'm talking about? Because they treat the poor white people just like they treat niggas in the hood and railroad their asses. You understand what I'm talking about? So it gets tricky, man. It gets really tricky, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, that bread is almost just as important as the complexion. You understand me? And that's about the only chance you got, King. And some motherfucking justice. You heard? That's about the only chance you got.
So capitalism with the right genetics, and you have a fair shot.
Facts. It ain't what you know, it's who you know, and how much in that bankroll. You did? For real.
So then in that setting, what, if any, would be a prime example of actual justice?
You know what? That some people, we watch the movies. I think I heard that line before the movie. That is justice, man. You beat the system. The system who you're born with their foot on your neck. So anytime, you know, it's us against them. So it's us against them. Just the fact that they give you an opportunity to fight other countries, they put you on a chopping block and stone you to death. You understand what I'm saying? For less. You understand me? But listen, bro. Listen. Justice, man. Don't just get too hung up on that word. Justice is in not the eye of the beholder, but the gun of the beholder, man. You understand what I'm talking about? For real, man. Whoever got the biggest bankroll, the biggest guns, and the biggest connect, man, they dictate policies and justice, man. You know, there's alphas and there's omegas, man. There's top of the food chain, there's bottom of the food chain, bro. You better have some of that stuff going for you that puts you in the race, man, because America eats its kids, in the mortal words of Tupac, you know what I mean? America eats its kids, got no problem gobbling you up, spitting you out, no matter what color you are. So, you better get right, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, and put yourself a little high up on that food chain, bro. Think about the system. Who gets it the worst? The poor. I've seen people sitting there with a dollar bill, can't get out. You've heard of Khalif Browner? I don't want to say his name wrong. But yeah, with a low bail and couldn't get out. I think that's a $1 bill and could get out. I've seen correction officers feel bad and send somebody to pay folks $1 bail so they could get out of jail. You know what I'm saying? And these people could get used and abused. The system thinks just because you're black you can get used and abused until they find out you got family and some bankroll and a good Jewish lawyer. You understand me? And 10 years to waste out of your life. You understand what I'm saying?
Like it's optional.
Yeah, but the shit gets deep, man. Sometimes, you know, I get passionate in these conversations, so sometimes I might get off topic, you know what I mean? So you gotta reel me back in. What's the next question?
Well, no, it's all on topic. So with the same setting, if justice is whenever we get over on the system, what would injustice be? When the system wins?
Injustice. 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 Just, you know, just like the word justice to me is a myth, injustice. You'll just be crying. You understand me? Complaining your whole life. Injustice. We were kings and we were, you understand me? We were walking on diamonds and gold, man. So, you know what I mean? Until then, there'll never be justice, man.
Wow. Well,
What the hell is injustice? What the hell is injustice? No justice, no peace. How about that?
and there goes the current day world. Yeah.
That's right. Shout out to my son Jaden, man. I got the dope video of him. Yeah, I got a dope video of him at a Black Lives Matter rally. It was kind of shady, you know what I mean? The Antifa people all around and all that.
Don't shoot. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Say his name. George Floyd. Say his name. George Floyd. Say his name. George Floyd. Say her name. Say her name. Breonna. Say her name. Breonna.
But we went through to represent, you understand me? And my son Jaden went, no justice, no peace. He got up there, had a speech and all that, man. You understand me? We raising young kings around here, young revolutionaries, you did?
And that doesn't mean anything. Us black people did nothing wrong.
That's right.
We are only judged by the color of our skin.
That's right.
And that doesn't mean anything.
in front of Queen's Court, where I sat. My case, my lawyers used to joke that my case might be the longest running case in that building. You understand me? A case that I was fighting. And it took, I got out, it took another year before they threw it out. 4, 5, 6 years this shit was in that building. You understand what I'm saying? I know that building like the back of my hand. You understand what I'm talking about? Yeah, my 7 years old at the time, he's 9 now. He got up there and gave a cold ass no justice, no peace speech, you did? Yeah. Yeah, man.
Well, on that note, that leads us to the other umbrella that houses the terms trials, juries, verdicts, and that would be the legal system. So the legal system is almost synonymous with justice, but in a subliminal way, because justice is used as the term when trying to show a positive reflection of the legal system. But like you said, justice is basically a myth. So it really just is a legal system. So is the legal system really rigged to begin with under the guise of the myth of justice?
Listen, the closest thing I could explain the judicial system as, or the justice system as, is slavery, bro. Period, bro. It never went nowhere. You understand me? How am I 30 at the time, 25 at the time? I had stories that were similar to slave ritual stories, old Negro ritual stories. You understand me? From the slave times. I had similar stories about correction officers with black babies on nooses tatted on them. KKK and SWAT stickers everywhere.
Exactly. Hope you can't even handle hearing that. You shouldn't have to be saying that.
Yeah, energy crazy around here. I know. But yeah, I've had those kind of stories where they took me in their little room in a box and whooped on me and all that kind of shit. Only ass whooping I ever got in my motherfucking life was from racist crackers with calling me nigga. You understand me? And yeah, the real deal up there. You understand me? Whooping on me and shit. You understand me? My grandparents done had them stories to tell me. You understand me? About going through. And I was going through it. You understand what I'm talking about? In the flesh though. You understand me? Rude awakening. We still living in them days. And guess who was, instead of on them trees, hanging? You understand me? There's a whole innocent community, not to mention the done wrong, unjust, you know what I mean, legally, community in there. You understand me? Don't get me to quote 1% of the people I think even belong in there. You understand me? But like I said, there's a big innocent community in there. Thank God for people like the innocent. Hey, quiet. Thank God for people like the innocent project, you understand me? And people like that who fight for them people, because there's more in there than you believe. I was one of them. And I was prepared to be in there another 5 or 10 years before before the truth got out. Yeah, wasn't able to sue or any of that, the way they finagled it. But yeah, you know what I mean? Modern day slavery is what I would call the justice system. You understand me? People in there producing goods, working for pennies, and getting whooped on like an old Negro spiritual, you heard? Like, I can't put it no other way.
I think that is absolutely said. I think Queen Ava basically gave that evolution.
Oh, babe! Cut it out.
Yeah, I believe Queen Ava also gave that same, for the most part, evolution of how slavery evolved into the current day legal system. So
we could go on and on about the similarities.
Yeah.
We could go on and on about the similarities. You understand? We could go on and on about the similarities between, slavery and, the justice system.
Sadly. But the stories that you experience, not story. It's just your journey, your experience. Like you said, the fact that your own grandparents can't tell those stories, but you can. Nobody should ever have to have those stories to tell. But it's just jaw-dropping to know that post-millennium, this is common practice.
That's a whole fact. Unless you're gonna be, I don't know, maybe comply to the point where you're just a clout punching. No offense to the 9-to-5ers, but just just sheep that follows. You understand me? Even then, if they need you, they'll sacrifice you. Matter of fact, they'll sacrifice you quicker.
Yeah, you'll be quieter about it.
That's right.
So. Well, with all of that, can there ever truly be equal rights and justice for anyone in America?
This is the closest we ever been. This is the closest we ever been. This is the closest we ever been. I'm telling you from experience. I sat there and watched what they tried to pull on me in 05 to 08. I sat up in there. I said to myself, there's no way a system could continue to stand on such shaky. This is how deep I had to dive. This is the kind of shit I was thinking about. I said, there's no way a system could stand. It was bigger than me. It wasn't my selfish ass thinking about just me, why me? I was like, yo, this system can't, if there's one lie like this, there's 1,000 of them. And maybe 1,000,000 of them, you understand what I'm saying?
Closer to 1,000,000.
Yeah, so I'm like, there's no way a system could stand on such shaky shit. I'm a street nigga. I would have been off a long time ago if I ran around trying to pull what these motherfuckers was trying to pull, you heard? Like, it just don't sit right with the earth, you heard? So this is the kind of shit I had to rely on to get me through day 1, day 2, day 3, week 1, week 2, week. You understand what I'm saying? I start realizing it's bigger than me. You understand me? I start working on me. You understand me? But what I'm seeing these days, I can't front when people take it to the streets with George Floyd and some of the Black Lives Matter incidences, I'll use for lack of a better term. And people take it to the streets. I've seen stuff that I've waited to see. Like, I've had people tell me, y'all not gonna do nothing, all y'all gonna do is sit back and complain. And yeah, you understand me? We do a lot of that, sitting back and complaining. But this time around, last few years, people take it to the streets. I said, let me see, man, if it look like there's opportunity for these lies to get exposed. You understand what I'm talking about? So I was paying close attention. You understand me? And I had people close to me debating with the simple-mindedness. You understand me? Like, this is just another one of y'all. You understand me? As soon as they said that shit, you understand me? I seen whole police precincts go up in flames. You understand what I'm saying? So I said, the envelope's getting pushed. The pressure is, you understand me? And I seen police, I'm on the streets every day at the time, you understand me? I seen police go into like a shell, you understand me? For whatever reason they want to say it was, you understand me? I just know energy-wise, they was like regroup off the streets. Energy turning the other way where they will give you that evil stare when you look at them at the light. They was looking the other way, minding their business, driving away. It was a whole...